As the next Bitcoin bull market begins to take shape, we are seeing the grifters return, although they never really left. But now they're just refining and getting prepared for the next grift. Today, we're going to take a look at something that I find to be really one of the worst type of grifts, is where people pretend to have essentially some type of certification or some type of credential in Bitcoin. Anyways, let's dive into this. Welcome back, everyone. I thought that this was a pretty interesting tweet, and yeah, I wanted to discuss this because I do think that this sets the precedence for grifters, right? And essentially, because we live in a culture that respects or pretends to respect credentials, yeah, I think that, you know, people who are going to go out and seek these credentials are then going to try to use them to essentially shill you absolute crap. Because the reality is that why else would you think that you need a certification in Bitcoin? And what is a certified Bitcoin professional? That doesn't mean anything. Like, those are just words. It's embarrassing. Anyways, shout out to at Happy Clown Time. So Bob put out this tweet at Happy Clown Time. Congratulations to Mr. Boyette. He is now a certified Bitcoin professional. And yeah, let's take a look at that, huh? The Cryptocurrency Certification Consortium. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right. Ugh, it's cringe. It's cringe. Now look, I wanted to go take a look just quickly at the team, the people that are shilling this this thing. And yeah, let's see if we recognize any of these people. Granted, I don't know everybody in the space, but I did see some names that stuck out, which were a little disappointing, but not unsurprising. So Andreas Antonopoulos. So anybody who was orange pilled, most likely prior to 2018, was orange pilled to a certain extent by Andreas. He definitely put out some of the best Bitcoin material, but then unfortunately, he then started to pretend that Ethereum had some type of merit, and of course needed to, you know, wrote a book and got paid for it. And really, at the end of the day, as we all know, Ethereum is just a pre-mined affinity scam that is more or less a state capture tool. But anyways, that doesn't, you know, that just, you know, Andreas doing what he did, and it just kind of ruined his name in the Bitcoin community. And he did it all under the guise of, oh, I do this for the technology. I'm curious. I know lots of curious people who don't need to write books to shill affinity scams. That's okay, right? To each their own. Anyways, let's continue here. Let's take a look at the committee. A little disappointing to see some well-known Bitcoiners, right? Bitcoin-only Bitcoiners. So here's another committee that they have going on over here, the Cryptocurrency Security Standard Committee. So that's the overall direction for the CCSS standard and Cryptocurrency Security Standard Auditor exam. So here we've got people that you may find familiar, like Jameson Lopp, who works for Casa, and yeah, the founder and CTO of Casa, also shilled INX token and also shilled Mimble Wimble Grin. And most recently, Casa has started to pretend that they're offering self-custody services for shitcoins like Ethereum. Anyways, doesn't really surprise me. Jameson Lopp has created absolutely amazing material in Bitcoin, but that does not stop them. That doesn't stop people like him from shilling you a shitcoin. Okay? Doesn't. So here are some of the past advisors, scammers like Charles Hoskinson, right? The gentleman who started Cardano and essentially just does absolutely nothing. And for some reason, all these people think that Cardano is going to become money. Like, no, it's not. He wanted to be the king of his own castle. Like, guys, you need to read back on the history, right? He started Ethereum with Vitalik, right? He was part of that. And then realizing quickly, not the kingdom of his own little castle. He wanted to be the king of his own little castle. So he went off and created Cardano, which does absolutely nothing. Nobody uses it. It's complete fucking vaporware. Anyways. All right, here we go. We got Mike Belshey, CEO of BitGo. That says it all there. The people who the people who helped sign the New York agreement way back when to attack Bitcoin. Yay, good dudes, good dudes. Anyways, and of course, right, the icing on the cake, Vitalik Buterin. So guys, when I go back and I look at this certified Bitcoin professional certificate, just remember who is supporting this garbage. Now, this goes back to the original point. So look, credentialisation is one of the worst grifts that we've seen. And it's got nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's got nothing to do with this space. It has to do with life in general, right? Like there was a point in time where somebody having a credential simply meant that they actually did the work to understand what is going on, and as a result, they are able to extrapolate out from the tools and the methods that they were taught and be able to come to, I guess, just higher quality conclusions about whatever topic they were credentialized in because they understand how to use the different tools and the different resources. But something happened to credentialization. It morphed into, it doesn't matter what I say. I've got this credential. And as long as I've got this credential, whatever I say is validated by it. And that's the problem. And so right now, it may seem like you might be sitting there going, oh, Phil, like this, come on, man. Like this isn't going to turn into something bad. At first, it starts off with a couple of people getting credentialized. And then all of a sudden, they want to start making their own committees. And then all of a sudden, they start making their own organizations and decide how the education is disseminated, what people are taught, and how they are taught it. Granted, there's nothing wrong with having some structure. I don't see a problem with having structure, right? Structured learning, it's not an issue, right? You're supposed to build on top of building blocks. But the problem is in this type of situation, Bitcoin is a completely open protocol, which of course, that means they can go ahead and create whatever organizations and committees they want. But it also means that we have the right to call them out on it and to not agree or conform to those organizations or committees. So look, the next bull cycle, there's going to be a lot more money, more attention in Bitcoin, bigger, more sophisticated types of grifters are going to be showing up. The grifter narratives are going to be much worse, and I can already see the writing on the wall with these professional, with these professional Bitcoiners. There's no such thing as that. Okay, like there's absolutely no such thing as that. It makes no sense whatsoever. So, guys, don't fall for this. There's no such thing as a certified Bitcoin professional. This is just total crap to eventually lead you down the road to buy into some shit that you don't need and that is just going to wreck you. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. I'll catch you guys all tomorrow.